everyone, happy 4th. I am here today doing a special Twin Souls check-in Eclipse energy update for you. I am, as you can see, I'm outside. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm at a cabin with my best friend in Scio, Ohio, which is about 3 hours north of Dayton. Very cheap, very reasonable. Diamond Lake Cabins is what it's called. So I highly suggest checking it out. It's as far as the times that we're in right now, it's one of the only places I feel safe traveling. I don't like to travel out of state right now. I want to, but with the pandemic, I haven't. But it's just really peaceful. There's a small pond, and there's actually a lake up the way, and we have a hot tub, and it's really nice. It's a really nice, very reasonable getaway, especially if you bring a group of people. So anyway, I just felt really compelled, given all the energies that are happening. I myself have had so much change and transformation. Ironically, my friend and I were here at the end of May, and that's when I had just so much stuff happen. I literally had an extreme purge, like solar plexus purge, ego purge, complete upheaval of where I thought my journey was headed, and looking back, starting back again, right where it all started. I had so many things happen that weekend that were just impossible to ignore on this journey. And it's like, all right, I'm never gonna doubt again, I guess, what at least why I'm on this journey, and who knows what the outcome's going to be. But aside from that, I just wanted to come on here because, as you guys know, there's a full moon tonight. It's the third in a series that has an eclipse. So obviously 3 is a powerful number for twin souls. It represents the Holy Trinity, physical union. It's just a very powerful number, a number of ascended masters, those types of things. So we also just had the summer solstice. We've entered Cancer season. Leo season is upon us as well. That's always a powerful time for these connections for whatever reason. And I wanted to take a moment before I get into the current energies. I just thought this morning when I woke up, I had planned to do the video, but I hadn't thought about actually how I was just gonna do kind of a traditional one. But I thought, why don't I look back at the predictions I made month by month for 2020 in January. So when I did, if you guys remember, I think I recorded, it was around New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, something like that. I did a Twin Soul 2020 Union Outlook. By month, I pulled a card, okay? And looking back at my journey for this year, it's definitely been an alignment, although when I pulled those cards, at the time I pulled those cards, they had certainly a different meaning for me then, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go through that, and it's actually very exciting where we are at this turning point, at this part, this next half of the year that's coming forward. So in January, this is the irony here. In January, we thought we were in Ten of Wands energy in January. It's like, whoa, yeah, that's a joke. Like, who wouldn't want to go back to that now, right? But we thought 2019 was heavy. I know for myself, I had extensive past life karma, and as a twin soul, that's one of the things that not all twin souls have to deal with, but many have past life karma to clear. And that's what 2019 was for me. It was legitimately, let's see, 1, 2, 4. I had 4 guys come into my life that were past life karma. And, I was very confused at the time, given where I was on my journey with my twin. I thought we were done, and I thought these other people were coming in as my counterpart. And so that might be something that you have, start happening now as well, or you went through that in 2019. But, it was very confusing. Just a lot of drama, a lot of pain, a lot of triggering, just heavy, right? So by the time January comes, you're like, I'm ready to start this year fresh, but my God, I've been through battle, right? That's the Ten of Wands energy. February was, and I'm looking at my phone because I took a picture of all the cards just so you guys wonder what I'm doing. The Hierophant was what came out in February. Now, at the time, I was thinking that was going to be a time that many of the masculines were starting to awaken, which definitely could have happened, could have started that process. I think it was to us being guided more with events starting to stir in the world. I mean, we were starting to get news of a pandemic overseas, like in China. I think February is when that kind of stuff started. I think we were being guided more to really connect to our spirit and to our mission. I think that was like a sign. And I think many of us too, the feminines who thought they were awakened, sort of went through a second awakening and really just started having their reality just shift, and we're starting to get a little bit strange. Not quite until March. Two of Swords was the energy in March, which Two of Swords is you're at a crossroads. You're blindfolded. You're like, which direction am I going? I can't make a decision. And I think in my case, I did have another past life false counterpart present himself to me in March. And so for me, that was the direction. I was like, oh my God, which direction? Because thought I was right on this one path, and then this person comes in and I'm torn, right? So which direction was I going to go? For many of us too, it was, what direction is our life going to go? What direction is this world going to go? The pandemic hit, it was like this crossroads of like old earth, new earth, and bridge, like splitting off. So looking back, I feel like that makes sense in that regard. April was Knight of Cups. And at the time, when I pulled that card, I predicted, based on what was coming in April and May, that there could definitely be some unions happening, and I think there were. I mean, I certainly have heard some of that there have been some twins coming together just from some of the groups I'm following and things like that, divine soul counterparts. There's definitely been some of that. But I also, in my case, it was really learning to turn that love into myself, right? That last past life lesson, hope to God it was the last one. But I feel like it was back to Atlantis, so I'm like, that has to be the furthest back, right? Like, there's no more. That Knight of Cups, like, for me, I think it was realizing, like, you can't wait for somebody to ride in on their white horse and offer you their cup. Like, you've got to love yourself. And so for me, that was resonating for April, now looking back. May was the Sun. And May, was a time, I think, when the fear sort of lifted for some people. Myself, May, the Sun kind of, I was very much in fear. Even being in higher vibration, I was very afraid because of the way that things were changing. But I felt like the Sun kind of came out, the higher vibrational energy, like breaking away into like 5D, the self-love. I mean, May was when I really started, well, it was probably early June, but really just started coming into my own and realizing I can't latch on to someone just because I'm scared, just because these times are rough. Like, this is a time for perseverance. This is a time that you have to really, like, divine feminine, stand on your own and like become your own savior and your own knight, right? You have to be all of it. And that's really how we were challenged, at least for the ones that, if our journeys, our timelines are resonating, we're in the same wave, whatever you want to call it. That's what I feel like has happened. I remember making a joke for June, the card Seven of Wands. I was like, oh God, if it hasn't happened by June, I'm going to be in Seven of Wands energy. And it's really funny, because I was just marveling at that today. I'm like, it's already July and it hasn't happened. And it's like, if it doesn't happen by the end of the year, oh well. If it doesn't, it's like time is so, I've gotten to this place where it's just like, I don't need this anymore. I've really found that wholeness within myself, and it's not been easy. It's been a very, very difficult, challenging time. So that's something I do want to say, if you're on this path and you want to, if you need, guidance as far as like how you can detach, how you can find, let go of that person, that's something that I can work with you on. So just that information is down below. So Seven of Wands it's an energy of defensiveness, but I like to look at it as perseverance, and I feel like that's what we did. June for me was probably one of the worst months of my entire life. I had 2 deaths in my family, back to back, pretty much like 3 weeks apart. My grandmother, and it just was we were very close. It was devastating. It's probably, the hardest thing our family has faced. And June was just, really I had to dig deep and like just not latch onto somebody. And I was tested a couple of times, with somebody coming in, and it's like, I don't need this. I've got everything I need within me. So that's where we are. The beautiful thing is, that's obviously some heavy energy, guys. We know that. But July, the card is the Fool, which is the new beginning. Okay? We have the Fool and the Ace of Wands for July and August. That's fire energy. That's passionate. Those are both new beginnings in a relationship. I can attest that just in my situation, communication has started again. And once I completely detached and let go and was like, I'm good with friendship. I'm good with whatever. There is a resurgence happening for whatever reason. It's happening for many people right now. So looking ahead, Three of Wands is September, which for me is, and I did some looking into this today, as far as Three of Wands, because that's a card that sometimes kind of just throws me a little bit in a romantic context, but it can represent getting to know each other. It can represent developing something, the start of something, emotions, sharing, those types of things. It can be like the manifestation, the actual, like the passion. And notice it's a three, which is the Trinity. So that's very beautiful. Come October, we've got Nine of Pentacles, which is a card about self-employment, working on yourself. It could be that twins are stepping into mission together in a business or something like that, or maybe the masculine twins are awakening and starting to tap into their spiritual gifts. And I can test that that's definitely happening. As far as the situation of my masculine counterpart, again, when I say that, it's like without expectation that I used to have. It's this is the person I'm going to end up with. No, this is the beautiful soul who awakened me and who is the reason I'm doing what I'm doing. And we're always going to have that bond, no matter what happens, and we're always going to be friends. And I'm thankful just to have him as a friend in my life. So when I say that, like, I'm not doing that in a possessive way, but I can say that, like, I'm just blown away with the growth and the spiritual conversations, the things that I'm able to share with him now that maybe would have freaked him out before. And he's wanting to learn. So it's just very beautiful. So come November, we have Page of Cups, and December is followed by the Three of Cups. And Page of Cups, yes, we want these, if you're looking for that relationship component, you want them to show up as, not as a page, as a king, okay? But I think in this context, it's an offer of love. And it could be the very much beginning. It could be just very slow, like it needs to go slowly and just flow. But when you have the Page of Cups followed by the Three of Cups, that to me indicates a proposal of some sort. Three of Cups is a wedding card. It's a celebration. It can be engagement. I'm not saying that that's going to happen for everybody, but it could just be a higher form of commitment, just that somebody's ready to commit. Or it's just that you realize you're in this energy where it's like your own, the Three of Cups in the card, and you guys won't be able to see it on here, but in the image in this card that I pulled, there's three women holding each other and looking at the stars. So it's like it's community, it's celebration. It might be you just get to this point at year end, you realize I'm okay without this. And that's sort of where I am now. I kind of like am in this point where I'm kind of like scared. I'm kind of like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. I'm good just being on my own. So now that I've given that overview, I just want to check in with everything, because obviously energy changes, right? That's what was predicted. That was what was predicted in January for the year. It looked like, again, that there was a resurgence happening July, August, which is happening, at least as a friendship in my case. But in year, it just looked like very positive cards for the rest of the year, honestly. But we'll just see what happens. I'm feeling called to use a deck I've never used before. It is the Universal Celtic Tarot. I'm not sure who that's by. Let's see, Florina Nativo. So bear with me, because I have shuffled them. I did break them apart and shuffle them. But I'm just gonna take a look right now of what's going on with these energies, with these eclipse energies, with the solstice. What's happening? What's coming for the next, like, let's say, month or two, like Leo season. Like what's happening with the twin souls, with these new beginnings? Because I even had said, I had made a comment like, I'm fine with honestly just being his friend, and maybe that's all we're meant to be in this life, is just to have this like forgiveness, let go of attachment, and be comfortable being union with ourselves separately. And I truly mean that. And then as that kind of feeling is washing over me, then this friendship starts to develop again. So whatever it means, it means. And I know I've told you guys this. If you are wanting a romantic relationship, a 5D relationship, and you're doing your work and these things are happening to you and you're on this path, it's going to happen. You just have to be okay with it happening. You have to not, like, for me, it was this delicate balance. I was trying to seek it out so badly that that's when I started attracting the past life karma. And it was something clearly that my soul signed up to do. But there were so many red flags because I was so, you've got to be careful that you're not just trying to latch onto somebody. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway. Oh my God, you guys. Wow. These are beautiful cards. Absolutely beautiful. Oh my God. Whew. All right. So the first card that we got out the gate was the Hierophant. And you guys know for me, that card is a spiritual union card. It is divine guidance. It is divine timing. It is just, it's, for me, it's a spiritual union card. It's also, remember, I had said that when this card came out, the Hierophant, when it came out in February, that I thought that it signaled a lot of the masculine's awakening. I feel like that is, sorry, there's like a, I might be getting attacked here. I don't know. This might not have been a smart idea to sit outside. But anyway, this to me is, okay, yeah, if they weren't awakening already and they haven't awakened yet, it's happening now. That is undeniable. This is absolutely the case. And it's really interesting how in this image, the Hierophant, sometimes it's just like one person, meditating, or it's like one like guy that's like in the robe or whatever. Here it's like this little boy. It's like this innocent little boy, like, please teach me, guide me, show me the way. It's absolutely beautiful. Like, I think it's really a sign and confirmation that the masculines are connecting to spirit. They're connecting to their inner knowing. They're starting to use divination tools. That is definitely happening in my case, with like, again, I feel weird. I don't know how to refer to him. Like, I don't want to say my masculine because we're not together. We may not be together. My twin. I guess I don't know. But there's definitely they're curious. They're wanting to learn. They're looking at things from a higher perspective. It's absolutely, they're awakening. I think the blocking energy is Knight of Pentacles, and I think the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight. But to me lately too, what I've been seeing in a lot of the readings, like Mystic Moon and those that I've been watching, the Knight of Pentacles represents progress. It's like the snail coming forward. It is tangible progress. Of all the knights, this is the most reliable one. This is the one that once they get to the finish line, once they get there, they will stay. They will become a king. Some of these other ones, especially Knight of Wands, that's one that's definitely be flighty, and they're going to be, wishy-washy and hot cold. Knight of Pentacles, yeah, they're giving in on their dragon. They're slaying their dragons right now. They're out there. That's what I'm getting is they're going through an awakening. That's why this is kind of the block. The energy is this. They're not quite coming forward yet because it's maybe not divine timing. They're still out there slaying their dragons. They're slaying their demons. They're healing their wounds. The fact that I was able to like give guidance, like, it was just bizarre, like, that I'm able to have a conversation and be like, yeah, you need to write stuff and burn it, and you can do this, and like, and that this was even able to be a conversation that we, it was just very powerful, and that he was open to it. So they're definitely going through this, and just to have that friendship and to be able to help someone grow spiritually, because he was the one that awakened, caused me to awaken and have this. It's just, if that's all that we were meant to do with each other, and our soul contract was to awaken each other and ascend and transcend the 3D paradigms and just be friends, like, what a beautiful gift that is. Beautiful gift. Okay, what I'm getting, though, both partners, or counterparts, whatever you want to say, both halves, both twins, they've been still going through healing, rest, recovery. Four of Swords is the recent past. This, to me, this is, I don't want to make light of this, but this is like a guy who's like in stone, and he's got like moss growing on him because he's been in this position so damn long working on himself. I feel like that's how the feminines feel right now. It's like, my God, I've been doing this for years. It's been 94 years. But it's like the lessons. I mean, I just feel like in June alone, just just since this last, the one, I mean, I told you guys I had, let's see, one, I had 4 past life karma relationships. They weren't relationships. They were just like whatever, you know, talking about having a relationship or whatever, but we never physically consummated anything in any of the 5. But the 4 that I had in 19, um, like I thought that was a lot. And it's like this last one, the last 3 months, like what was like, oh, there's a cardinal flying by right now. March, April, May. I mean, that seemed like a year by itself. So the feminines, like you feel like you've been at this, but there still was healing to do. Clearly, if you're getting drawn into these situations, if you're getting triggered by your twin or by others, there's still things that need to be cleared. And this energy is kind of this like stirring up a lot of stuff, especially with it being Cancer season. Especially if you're a water sign, there's a lot of that. It's going to hit you even harder, right? Um, Now, what I'm getting here, we've got like as the current energy, the 8 of Swords, which typically is an energy of self-imposed prison, of being trapped in your head. Okay, and that's where both counterparts mirror each other too. I mean, I've been getting a lot of mirroring numbers, and that's when it started dawning on me this week that like, holy crap, like it's not just him that's running. Like I've been running. I've been scared. Like would I really be ready if he said he would? I don't know. I haven't been in a relationship in so long, and I'd be scared too. I am scared, you know? So I'm fine with being friends. So you have to look at yourself in the mirror and realize like aspects where maybe you're afraid, aspects where you're maybe pushing them away, even unconsciously and not realizing you're doing it. So I think both partners have been very much stuck in their head and very much self-imposed prison. But what's beautiful to me is that this image, I look at this, you guys. This 8 of Swords, I've never seen an image like this before. She is literally, she's not trapped at all. She's picked up the swords and she's ready to slay the world. There's feathers flying around her. She's got her wings. There's an owl guiding her. I feel like it's like the feminine has finally, like something has clicked. Boom, like I've got this now. Like I understand, I see it from a higher perspective. Sorry, you guys, there's a bunch of noise in the background. Hopefully you can't hear it. But it's distracting me a little bit along with the flies. But, it's just, she's broken free. She's broken free from the illusion, broken free from the paradigm. She set herself free and said, you know what? I'm guided by spirit now. And I think her making that shift is what's really like spurned like the masculine to be like, oh my God, like they're starting to have epiphanies. Their awakening starting to accelerate. It's really happening. Like this transformation. Owls are about death and rebirth. It's like her leaving her, the feminine leaving her mental anguish behind, letting go of worrying about if they're going to hear from them, and just like finding that love within herself, finding that wholeness within herself, and really just knowing that the 5D connection is all that's you really need. You don't have to have it in the physical. That is just really like set forth. Like again, I'm just getting like set both of them free. It started a new cycle. Um, and I get, 2 again, 8. It's an 8, which August is coming up, and that's Leo season. But this is just, I just want to stare at this card forever because it's just, this is absolutely, she is absolutely confident. She's balanced. She's this amazing, like, divine feminine. She's just exploding with light, and the masculine is drawn to it. That's again why, like, you're probably going to, unexpectedly out of nowhere, start hearing from them. Like, just like, whoa. Because, yeah, the experience I had, I wasn't sure I was going to share this, but his birthday is coming up, so I was just going to check in, just as a friend. We always, no matter what's going on, we always wish each other happy birthday. And, but I was at this place, I was just like, I'm not chasing him anymore. I'm not going to seek this out. Like, I hadn't seen him since February, and we hadn't texted, nothing. Like, and he hadn't been initiating communication with me since Christmas, and it was evident then that he was very much in page energy. So I was like, I'm not doing this, sorry. And a couple weeks ago, I laid down for a nap, like late in the afternoon, at the end of the workday, and then I had stuff going on in the evening, and I was just exhausted. And I had been having like a very much increasing, 5D experiences, astral experiences involving him, signs, explosions of stuff that was just like unprecedented the last month since I was here the last time. And I had this like during that nap, like there was an astral experience that absolutely took my breath away. And in that experience, he said, "Let's make contact." And I woke up and I was just like, what the heck? I was like, I'm not reaching out. I'm not reaching out to him. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to be the one to reach out. Within an hour of that happening, he texted me out of the blue. So it's just like this. You can't make this stuff up, guys. The divine, the hierophant energies here. Something, whatever this purpose, this mission is that we signed up for. Many of us thought it was this fairy tale happy ending that, like, okay, yeah, they awakened us and we're going to end up together and in union. And it all along was about getting into union with yourself first and foremost. Anything else is just icing on the cake. And so, like, again, for me, just to have a friendship with him was beautiful. Like, just to have him in my life as a friend, I'm good with that. Who knows what we signed up for? Something's happening, but the point is, we have to we have to be shining the light on our own. We have to free ourselves from our own mental issues, like mental anguish, despair. We have to become the warrior on our own and pick up both swords. We can't stay stuck in a fairy tale. So it's about, still about being okay with being alone. That's what I'm getting, because the Hermit is here in the 5th position. So it's about finding the magic of in nature. It's about connecting to nature. And I mean, you guys, you can't make this stuff up. You guys know how fireflies have been a huge, like that, what happened, that was one of the crazy things that happened too, was that night that I was out at the fire, and I posted it on my Facebook page. If you guys follow my Facebook page and Instagram, it's on there, where the images came up in the fire. I literally had said, I felt you, like I sent this telepathic message. I was at my grandmother's funeral, and I said, you'll come back, you always do. And then boom, the flame like shot up and it looked like a night. And then the firefly had landed on me, like it like came and, so the fireflies have been very much a, totem for twins, I think, as far as the feminines just shining their light. They do that in the grass. I don't know if you guys know that. The males are the ones that fly around outside that we see typically. So they flash their light as they fly around, and then they look down and they're looking for a female in the grass to like reciprocate, and then they mate. So it was like, he sent the male one to me, and it's happened a couple times. So this is just confirmation that, continue doing what you're doing on this path. Like, you have to be okay being a hermit. Not just okay being a hermit, you have to find joy in being a hermit. You have to connect to yourself, to, find your own light within you. And look what happens when you find your own light within yourself. Look at all this, like all these fireflies start coming. And it may not be your twin. Maybe your twin is in there. Maybe they're like back here, and maybe they're just not ready. Because remember, in that message that I got, he said, your light is guiding me home, but I don't want to hold you back. I don't want to hold you back. So you're free to fly. So you've got to remember that, there's lots of options out here to create your own, your own reality. Now, the action forward that's coming is the Knight of Swords. Now, we don't particularly love knights. Again, they're ones that don't stick around. But for me, in this energy, because we have the Knight of Pentacles that is coming, and they're just trying to slay their dragons, they're trying to heal, it's not quite time. The Knight of Swords for me is somebody coming forward with their truth. They're coming forward. I mean, and look at this guy. He is got all these totems. He's got 3 birds, which represent the Trinity. He's got the Celtic cross behind him. He's got a sword. Like, this dude looks like awakened. He looks awakened, like determined, like, I'm coming forward and I'm speaking my truth. And I think for many of you, it's like, whatever that truth is. Now, maybe it doesn't have to do with like feelings for you. Maybe they're speaking their truth as far as, yeah, I'm the spiritual person, and I want to do, I want to learn tarot, or I want to do Reiki, or whatever it is. Like, they're really just starting to say, maybe I'm not living my truth, and they just start stepping into their truth. I'm just like admiring. Sorry, I keep getting all these distractions. There's like I don't know if I've ever seen a woodpecker, like legitimately, like it looks like a woody woodpecker, like on the side of the tree. It's just really cool. I wonder, and you guys might want to look that up, because right when I'm talking about the guy coming forward, speaking his truth, a woodpecker could be a totem. I may end up looking that up after this out of curiosity, because it's not random. Okay, so he's coming forward to bring justice to this connection. Justice is about soul contracts as well, honoring a soul contract. It's about fairness. It's about balance. Um, Look at this. It's like, this is very interesting too because it's a divine feminine. No wonder I was drawn to this deck, you guys. This is amazing. It's a divine feminine who they're bowing at her like, oh my God, please forgive me. She's like holding up like the sword. Her sword's down. But she's kind of like in this, I don't know if I want to deal with you energy. Because some of you feminines may feel like your masculine owes you an apology for the way they treated you, maybe ghosted you, maybe blew you off, maybe said things they didn't mean. Maybe they were wearing a mask and lied to you and said they didn't feel anything for you, or they didn't, anything like that. Justice, I feel like, is going to be served because they're going to come forward with some sort of truth. Okay. Whatever it was, there was Three of Swords energy in the past. I'm getting that, not that a third party this time. That's not what I'm picking up on here at all with this energy. I'm getting that she's rescuing him. I think he's like maybe drowning in his feeling like guilt. She's like, oh my God, like, it's okay. Like, see, he's just been wounded, and it's just like, and that's part of the reason why he's been afraid to come forward, is because of his past, because he's been working on healing himself. But he's still like, how can you forgive me? Like, not only am I like, I just, and it's interesting too because like this guy, well, there's like a guy in a blue shirt, but she's like picking him up. She's like, it's okay, I'm gonna, we've got this, I forgive you. She's rescuing him. She's his saving grace, his light. And what happens after that, maybe there's going to be a difficult conversation. They're going to speak their truth. Maybe, I just feel like an apology is coming, some sort of justice. You have Ace of Wands. Now, what did I just not say, that Ace of Wands was the energy coming for August based on my January prediction? I mean, you can't make this stuff up, guys. It looks like a crystal wand. It's just absolutely, it's kind of like, also I think the masculine realizing his power. This looks like a masculine's hand, realizing his power to manifest, and that he can have this. He can have this. And guess what? Guess what he wants? Based on this, again, it's a general reading for twin souls. Take what resonates. But what he wants and what he wants to manifest, he wants to turn the wheel. He wants to turn the wheel towards a new beginning. Right? Oh my God. This is insane. So the wheel was the last card. When you get the wheel as the last card, you pull another card to see what the wheel brings. Empress, divine feminine. But what's really freaking me out, you guys, and this Empress, and it's also fertility, it's a new beginning. She's like created a new earth. It's like on her skirt. Look at this. I mean, she's like birthed this new paradigm for them. He's like wanting to join her. He's picking up that Ace of Wands. He's like, yeah, I can do this. I can leave this heartache behind. I can leave this. Like, I'm worthy of her. I feel like these guys don't feel worthy. They're like bowing at her feet like, how would you even talk to me? How would you even, forgive me for the things I've done? Or I'm not even in your league. And she's like, no, look, I'm here for you. So he's like, okay, he's got confidence. The wheel, the Empress. But look at this. In the wheel, I've never seen this in a wheel card before. She's pregnant. Now, I'm not saying that means a pregnancy, but that means the wheel it's a new beginning, a new start is coming. And he wants that with her, with his divine counterpart. Again, you can't make this stuff up, guys. These cards, I love these cards. I'm so glad that I listened to my intuition and brought them. I'm going to pull, hopefully we don't run out of time here. I'm going to pull some twin flame numbers. I've been seeing it. I've been inundated with numbers. But what's frustrating is I need to make my own deck because many of them are not in here. Yeah. 64. That's not one that I see, but the message is try to see things from your twin flame's perspective to gain a better understanding. That's just what I was saying earlier, is that you've got to realize how you're mirroring each other and how maybe, if they're, you might be pushing them away unconsciously. You might be afraid, for different reasons, but the same issues are there underlying the connection. We're going to pull a message from the masculine to the feminine. You could take it from the feminine to masculine. We have those energies within us. This is the Twin Flame Journey Messages, Volume 2. I think this is the first time I've used this. Oh, I know it might be too late by the time I figure things out. I am working towards a better future. So that's the Knight of Pentacles energy. They're very much slow. They're working on themselves. And that's where the Firefly message was coming in. It's like, I don't expect you to wait for me. I don't expect you to put your life on hold. You're free to fly. Like, they're working towards this. They want this, whether they consciously realize it or not. You know, they still are in that they're not feeling worthy enough. But I'm getting that the best advice I could give is that you can just, if you're the counterpart watching this and you're, you know, identifying with somebody who's not feeling worthy, just send them love energetically. Just give them their space. Hold sacred space for them. Don't put your life on hold. Continue finding joy in your own life and those types of things. But something is going to shift here. Like I said, there's a truth that's coming. They're clearly being divinely guided. They're clearly awakening. They're feeling the energetic bond. I mean, that's evident by my situation. And there are times too where I get flashes of heat or whatever, and you know, then they reach out. It's there. So they feel it when you send love. They feel it when you send forgiveness. They feel it. And tonight would be actually with the full moon. That's what I was gonna say. It'd be a great time to write a letter to your person or anyone else that you feel like you need to forgive, that if there's any resentment, anything that you need to let go of, if you need to if you want to write them a love letter, you know, whatever it is, if you want to, anything you want to manifest, anything you want to let go of, write it out tonight and burn it. It's a powerful time, with it being the third eclipse in a series. So I highly suggest you guys do that. And like I said, if you want to take a look into your own personal situation, either with a tarot reading or just with a guided session or a combination of both on the Twin Flame journey, that information is down below. So best of luck to you. Until next time, take care.